Everyone, welcome to a quick little review. Just had some spare time and just wanted to bring you a quick one just while I had the time. One that I could quickly just type out. I'm your host, as ever, Peppermint8. Welcome back to another little game review. Today I'm bringing you a review on one of my favourite games of all time, especially since, well, it's 18 years old now, which is pretty crazy. But I'm bringing you one of my favourite games of all time, just real quick. I haven't got a lot to say about it, but I thought I'd just review it anyway. I'm looking at the 2005 spin-off from the Total War series, Spartan Total Warrior. I used to play this all the time back when I was a kid, way back when. I'm not that old, but it feels like I am. God, but yeah, I have some really fond memories of this game. Just wanted to bring you a little video just talking about it and how much I love it, just as a little review sort of video, just while I had a few minutes to talk about it, really. So if you're not familiar, as I mentioned, it is a spin-off from the Total War series. I haven't played a lot of their games, but as a kid, as I said, I used to play the shit out of this game. It's made by Sega. Well, it's published by Sega, I should say. For the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, and the Xbox. I haven't seen any remasters or re-releases of it. I would love to see a remaster, but unfortunately, I don't think we will. But anyway, so the plot synopsis: the game follows an unnamed Spartan warrior. No, I said an unnamed Spartan Total Warrior. He's literally just called Spartan for the most of it, which is really weird. Who was secretly guided by the god Ares in a war against the invading Roman Empire. He, alongside his allies, must travel across Greece and Rome to battle the invaders, along with mythical creatures and figures. We'll talk about a few of them a bit later on. Spoilers ahead, of course. We'll talk about a few of them. So the main gameplay revolves around a traditional hack-and-slash game, mixed in with supernatural powers and weapons. More weapons are unlocked throughout the main story, as well as different powers. Skill points are acquired through the completion of the main story's levels, upgrading health, damage, and your magic capacity. I will say that it also does change your appearance satisfyingly, turning more and more into a traditional-looking Spartan warrior. Enemies will switch from basic infantry to stronger elite enemies later on. So, they will literally change into different enemies as opposed to just getting more health and keeping the same character models. Really cool feature is a version of kill moves that are unique to each weapon that you can use, being used in order to do heavy damage to either a single enemy or doing a large area sweep attack, usually ending with some impressive gore for the time. Yeah, usually it's just decaps like crazy and just lots of blood. It's gruesome for a 2005 game. A large number of the levels revolve around a large-scale conflict, which will continue to play out until you complete the objective. Yeah, so even for a fucking PlayStation game, the fact that the frame rate doesn't suffer under heavy amounts of soldiers, it's impressive. And all this cinematic combat going on around you, all the catapults and ballistas and stuff. It's impressive that it manages to run so smoothly for its age. So yeah, it allows the players to openly engage in the fight to their heart's content without forcing a mission failure, for example. You could literally waste so much time just killing and killing and killing without a timer, an invisible timer running out that then just forces a restart. As long as you don't die, obviously. The boss fights are entertaining and unique, fighting the likes of the Hydra and the Minotaur in unique arenas. Yeah, they're impressive from a technological, is that the word? Technical standpoint, I should say. It's genuinely really good for a PS2 game. Sorry, I'm not saying a PS2 games are bad, but I just have so many fond memories of it that I was so impressed as a kid. All my childlike joy being so blown away by all these marvels. providing some pretty genuinely intense scenes of combat that really stand out to me to this day, as I say. Throughout the levels, you can find several different items and can unlock your usual extra content, such as concept art. However, the important one, collecting helmets will unlock new units and items to use in the game's arena mode. The arena mode involves wave-based combat that vary in difficulty depending on the map chosen. Like in the story, the later maps will be unlocked through later levels, and in these maps they will involve enemies from that level's pool. So obviously, like I mentioned earlier, with enemies that become different, instead of just getting more health, they will use them enemies. The items unlocked can vary from more soldiers to fight alongside the player, but tend to just be easily killed fodder. But I remember just trying to keep this one soldier alive for most of the fight, and it was just backfire horrifically, as we would just both get swamped. So yeah, from the soldiers to healing stations and explosives. These items are temporary, not respawning if used when passing on to the next wave, adding a new level of difficulty. So yeah, you want to keep as many people alive at the start of through it as you can, because you will just lose your people as the waves get harder. So yeah, I absolutely loved this game when I was young. Remember playing on the old demo discs you used to be able to get. Yeah, demo discs. Back when you could buy a version of the game before the full thing got released, so you knew you wouldn't get disappointed, unlike most games these days. So yeah, I remember the demo discs, and sticking to the first area of the first level, slaughtering hundreds of Romans as if I moved on, the demo would end. Yeah, just sticking around in that first combat fight with the siege towers, just absolutely going ham on them, just because they wouldn't stop spawning. I replayed the game not too long ago, and I'm happy to say I enjoyed it as much as I did as a child. Still enjoying the game's excellent gameplay and satisfyingly smooth combat. I would love to have a remaster of this game be released sometime in the future, but I don't see many people talking about this game. If you're a fan of the main series, I would recommend picking up a copy of it, as there are plenty of second-hand copies out there to enjoy, as it is 100% worth it. Definitely. I absolutely love it. I still think it stands up to this day. Excuse me. And it's one I would love. Well, I still have a PS2 and I could go back any time. It's just setting it up is going to be a pain in the arse. But yeah, it's just so good. I just love it. I have so many fond memories of it, and there's not much I can really complain about. It's not a buggy mess like most games that are released now. It's just, I just love it so much. It's so nostalgic to be talking about it. I remember it a lot easier than I did with Pac-Man. I just remembered Flash as a Pac-Man, whereas this I'm remembering entire segments. I'm fairly sure there was a point where there may even be a few little bits of video on the channel of me playing it. So I think I tried to do a mini playthrough of it, but it just didn't go anywhere because I had to record it for the TV. So yeah, apologies for that. It may still be here, but there's plenty of higher quality gameplay out there for you to find if you want to have a look at it. But in the meantime, I've been your host as ever, Purple Midnight 8. Thank you so much for listening to my little review and rambling on about my childhood for a bit there. So yeah, I don't know what else to really say. Thank you again for listening, and see you in the next one. Oh, Happy New Year, by the way.